Gator.
Here.
Mr. Buckley.
Here.
Mr. Gallagher.
Here.
There's a quorum.
I do want to not necessarily change the agenda, but rearrange it. We had some items under departmental reports. I'd like to move them up to the first item on the regular agenda. So, motion? What do we want to do?
As long as you make acknowledge that, you can do it.
Okay.
All right, so you want to do the pledge and
Okay, so that's it?
so that's all you have to do is say that you're going to
As
do them out
you
of
wish
order.
then, please stand for the pledge and the invocation. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Commissioner.
Dear Lord, please be with us. Stick with us during the holidays and let everybody come in safe to visit their families. Take them home safe, dear Lord. Be with us so we can make the best decisions for our county as we can make. Dear Lord, I ask this in your Son, Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
Okay, the consent agenda is on the board and has been published. Motion to accept.
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you. Now, Angie. Angie says she's busy down there for some reason right now. So Angie, would you come up and talk to us? And I want to ask you some specific questions about how people can pay on the last day. So go to the mic, please, and we'll talk and get this figured out. Angie's got to get back to work for some reason. She says there's people down there. I don't know what the deal is. Okay, Angie, how many ways are there to pay the county taxes?
You can pay in the office, you can pay online, over the phone, which is IVR, and pay through the mail and the drop box.
Okay. Payment online is automatically timed, so you know that that was done ahead of time. Post office, as long as they get a valid postmark,
Of
that's good.
December 31st.
Okay. What if I walk in there and just throw the mail in the slot on that last day? Do I know that it's postmarked?
You do not. A lot of times they stop maybe 11 o'clock in the morning,
Okay.
and on that last day, if you do not make sure that it's postmarked December 31st, it's probably going to be marked late.
Okay, so what should I do? Should I go in the office and say stamp this?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
How do I know, or, you know, okay, they got the envelope, but what's an empty envelope or something? Is that, the payment's not made then?
Correct.
Okay. What about the drop box outside?
Dropbox, we will check at the end of the day on Friday, and make sure everything
30th.
is
That-
on the 30th.
That's
And then
the
on the
30th.
31st, myself or Pam will be coming actually on the Sunday, the next
1st.
day, on the 1st at first thing in the morning, and whatever's in there is going to be counted on time.
Okay,
And then after that, everything will be considered late,
Okay.
and we'll have interest and penalty.
so it'd be a bonded person from your office
Yes.
opening that up
Yes,
and making, and then that stack they get out of there is valid.
yes,
But then after that, no way.
that's correct.
And have we covered all the ways of doing it?
I believe so, and we did discuss and gave Mark the paper that I believe that you had quoted also that even if someone's videotaping themselves on the last day, that will not be accepted.
Yeah.
Because those things can be altered.
Right. So we won't, you know, if I walk up or go to the post office and film myself dropping that in there and it's got the date on it, we're not gonna worry about that. We're not gonna accept that. Okay. Any other comments?
I don't believe so. Just make sure that you're here by December 31st at 4 o'clock if you're going to pay in the office. Okay?
Now, okay, say there's a line at the office at 4 o'clock, what happens then?
We wait on everyone that's in the building.
So if you're in the line at 4 o'clock?
Correct.
You can be okay?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions? Yeah, Rich?
Is this gonna be publicized in the news media and
Well, we
online?
have media all over the place. I
know.
hope so, yeah.
I know, but I know how some of them operate.
Well, you know, you can't,
I know,
Rich, you can't fix stupid, so.
I know.
First, they can still go to the post office, and as long as they make sure that it gets postmarked. If
They're
they
coming
go
in the office here.
to go in the office is the 30th. Yes.
Any other questions? Okay, Angie, we had problems last year, so this year we're going to enforce this stuff. And so we appreciate your efforts and
No problem. We appreciate you backing us up.
thank you. And so if you can find something to do for the rest of the day,
I'll
we,
try. Just go eat cookies.
there you go.
Cookies up there, thank you very much.
Thank you, Angie.
You're welcome, thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate you letting me get a little early too, thanks. I've got to take my wife to hopefully get her fourth knee surgery here and a new knee put in at 11. So I'm gonna get out of here, but I wanted to talk about a couple things. The ceremony of the swearing in will be at noon on the 2nd, Monday. Now, legally, our prosecutor or judges will be sworn. It's like a wedding where you do the church wedding and the civil wedding. They will be sworn officially
Civil
on
what?
that civil wedding,
Wedding.
where they're doing it. They're going to swear each other in, so if there's something that happens over the weekend that they need to act, they will officially be, but then we will have one, hopefully, that the meeting will come to at noon. On that day, we will have a little reception afterwards. Filing, I wanted to bring this up because filing's changed, the date's changed. You have to file for that April office by next Tuesday. And we'll be open until 5 o'clock, but right now, we've only got one, the ones that we take, we've only got one for Wolf Creek Fire Department. We have none for the ambulance district, and we have one race in the 911 board, so you have until the 27th. You asked about the 30,000, I mean, the amount of money that we're gonna pay out in this paycheck for people that had maxed out their sick time and the overage. It's gonna work out to just a little under $30,000 will be paid out to people that they'll get back on their sick time. Last thing, next week I'd like to put on the agenda with your permission on the resolution to put on the ballot the pot tax. You know, the state went in that provision we voted on.
It's the marijuana sales tax.
Marijuana sales tax. It's 3%. That was dictated in the county could charge 3%. I think it's only fair that if people are gonna pay taxes on everything else, they should pay on that. And I'm afraid that we're gonna go into recession. Our sales tax, our number one revenue, is gonna drop. And if we keep having the inflation, we're gonna need something to be able to keep our supplies, our utility bills, our workers be able to give realistic pay raises, and this would supplement that. So I would hope that you guys would discuss that and make an action, if that's okay. Next, I'll put it on the agenda on next Tuesdays.
Is it even 3%?
Kevin, what was the last date for the filing?
27, next
February,
Tuesday.
or
It's
January,
December.
December 27th?
That has changed. So, I mean, they're not like flooding the gates. Anyway, 911 has one race, and like I said, ambulance has none so far. There's nobody filed. Now, where that's a problem is if nobody files, we still have to run the race. They still have to pay for the race, and we have to use write-in people and count up the write-in.
Mickey Mouse
votes.
might win.
Mickey Mouse could pull it out.
No, registered vote.
So, but anyway, you do have, now, you have a couple more weeks to be an official write-in. But it'd be nice if somebody is willing to do it, to just put it on the ballot so that we would have it.
What's that election, Kevin?
Their share is a couple $1,000, their portion of it. It depends upon, I can't tell you right now because we don't know how many participants there will be. How many school districts will not have to have an election? They don't have to have an election, they don't get billed for the election. So we may have as few as 3 entities, we may as many as have like 10 or 12 different entities that are sharing the cost of the election. Okay, thanks.
Any questions, Kevin?
I
Yeah,
have
Bob?
one. On write-ins, what's the proper, do you put in Joe Blow, middle name Smith, or what's the proper way to
It's
write?
first and last
write-in?
name, if they're not an official write-in. If it's an official write-in, where people come in and file, they've got 2 more weeks to file it as an official write-in candidate, then you have to write in whatever they say that they're writing.
That basically somebody decided to run too late.
Too late.
Too late to get on the
Then they
ballot.
can be on the ballot as a write-in, but they will not be on the ballot. The ballot will be set. So, but they will be recognized as an official write-in. Otherwise, we get to, like we did a couple years ago, where, you know, it's 4 votes versus 3, and then it's too close, so then we've had a tie on these things, and then you gotta run a second election. If it's a tie, if both people, I think we had one in Bismarck where they wouldn't agree to flip a coin, so we had to run a full election on that, and we don't want to do that. If possible.
You know, some people call that marijuana tax a sin tax.
It could.
Okay, that's an old phrase that maybe I'm the only one that remembers that. Anyway. Okay, any other comments?
It's
Okay.
not that high.
We'll call that a report. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
I finally picked it up after that, okay. Took me a while, okay. Approval of the 2023 budget, if you so desire. So, we had a hearing on this yesterday, and we really appreciate the work by the auditor's office for many months, and a lot of time, and they've done a good job.
So what you have in front of you is the changes that were discussed yesterday in the hearing, as well as an updated budget. There are 2 columns for 2023. The first one will be the proposed budget that was made public, and the second column for 23 is the updated budget with the changes from the hearing. That's it.
On this year-to-date activity, you may have said this, but what's the date on that?
It'd be on the bottom corner, bottom left corner.
Okay, 12/20. Okay, so it's very recent.
Today.
Yeah, it's pretty recent. Because the last I saw was like in October or something like that. So,
Mhm.
okay. Okay, any questions from you guys? Okay, do I have a motion to accept the proposed budget for 2023?
I make a motion we approve the budget, the 2023 proposed budget.
I'll second that.
Okay, questions?
Could you include with the changes addressed in the hearing?
Sorry. With the changes addressed in the hearing.
Okay, and then the second that includes that.
Thank you.
Yeah, Rich?
You know, I worked on our church's budget for the coming year, and it's not very pretty, but in this regard, is this a balanced budget?
Yes.
So by statute, we have to show all revenues, including money that is rollover from the year before. So revenues and expenses don't always match.
Okay.
But we have to have at least a positive net profit, I guess you could say.
Thank you.
We can't show a negative balance.
Thank you.
I don't know if I want to call it a profit or not, but.
We can't be in the negative.
Yeah.
Let's say that. Can't spend money we don't have.
And we are out of debt. We don't have any debt, except for one little minor thing. And we're in pretty good shape. We appreciate you guys and keeping watch over us, and we appreciate that.
Your office does a great job. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, with no further questions, I would ask for a vote. We don't have a final vote. Okay, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. That just went from the proposed budget to the budget of 2023.
I would like to know, we'll get that sent over to IT to upload to the website this afternoon.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Erica's gonna talk to us. Pay increase for the detention aide at JDC. What?
I can see her.
Yeah.
I couldn't see you, so.
I'd rather have her hearing aids in.
Oh, no.
Don't
I'm Mary
tell.
Jones, I'm
Yeah,
the
don't tell.
detention superintendent at the St. Francis County Juvenile Detention Center. We currently employ 1 county detention aide. Their current hourly rate is $12 an hour. On behalf of myself and our Chief Juvenile Officer, Ace Eckhoff, we would like to request that increase to $15 an hour. So we are requesting that so that they can be competitive with the job market and also to be competitive with their coworkers. The state paid detention aides, which we have 14 of those, start at $15.60 per hour. After 6 months, they go up 2%. And then just in regards to the regular job market, you know, McDonald's starts at $13 an hour, which is currently more than our detention aide is making through the county. And you know, as detention aides, they have to be very, sorry, I'm not good at public speaking. But, you know, they're responsible for supervising and caring for youth who have been charged with a crime through the juvenile court system. So there's a high level of competency required, ability to respond to crisis, and they have to, you know, they have to have their high school diploma, they have to have experience, they have to be 21 years of age. And so that being said, and generally been with the the state paid positions, it's kind of hard to find a quality applicant for those positions, and so to keep up with the market, we would like to request that $15 an hour for our county paid detention aide.
Tell me what the daily activity of a detention aide is.
So they're supervising the youth. We have a programming schedule that they follow, and it just depends on, you know,
How many people will they be watching or carrying
up
on?
to 11 youth.
One person up to 11?
2. So our
Two.
very minimum is 2 staff.
And these are teenagers?
Yes, they're anywhere from the ages of 12 to 18, and they're charged with crimes just like adults. We have a lot of sex offenders. We have youth who've been charged with murder, assault, felony assaults, and just the same things that adults can, but usually on the serious end because they try really hard to keep the juveniles out of detention when possible.
I wouldn't want to be in charge of a dozen teenagers, even without the legal.
I was gonna ask you something. Did you say, how many, like, county workers do you have right now, aides?
We just have 1.
How many state? I heard you say state
14.
hired. You have 14 hired by the state?
Yes.
And 1 for the county?
Yes, and that's the hook with our,
I wanted to ask Corey something. Is this on our CBIZ with the county?
Yeah, the detention dates are graded. They're graded as a 2.
Well, what I was gonna suggest, these guys, whatever it is for the CBIZ, which I know it's probably gonna be above the $12 an hour. That way we'd be following the CBIZ recommendations, which it might not be 15, but I think most of them are going up.
You probably won't be
around
leaving dollar
14.
amount. but-
It'll be 14 something, but I mean, that's what I suggest. That way we're following our policy.
we were told that at the end of March, they would be increasing, I think, to 1408, but after talking to ACE, we still wanted to request the 15 per hour just to kind of keep up more with the state employees, since they started 1560 and then they go up 2% more after 6 months. So.
What is
And we
the-
wanted it to be effective as soon as possible.
What does the CBIZ rate have it at? Do you have that with you?
1408, she said. She
That's
thought.
1408? Okay.
Is this a full-time position for as benefits, so they get 15
Yeah.
paid holidays and vacation and 10 hours?
She's saying yes, by the way.
Sick days and stuff, so
Yes,
they don't do that at McDonald's, you know that?
yes, but our state workers, also receive all those benefits, and so.
But they're working this Friday.
Yes.
And our
No, we're
insurance,
not.
our insurance is better.
Yeah.
My wife has a trustee. So, but we do have, and I know with AC, we haven't had a chance to discuss with them, so we've got you in front of us. So these are the questions I got for you. We had a study done. They came up with what we would need to pay, and if it's a county employee, we're trying to stick with the CBIZ across the board, so everybody is fair where they go and what they go from. So that would be, in my decision, that would be where I would be with what CBIZ accounts for that position.
You're saying stay with CBIZ.
I would say stay with CBIZ. I haven't made that motion yet, but I probably will. But I just wanted to make sure where we're at with the CBIZ at 1408. And I know that's $1 less or a little less than $1 that you guys can go to, but that would be, I don't know, what do you think?
It's a significant pay raise.
It is, yes, in the first place, yeah.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
Haven't made one yet. I just was waiting to hear anything else.
Well, I'm gonna follow what the policy says on CBIZ. I mean, that's pretty well correct. We can't change it now. That's what we're trying to get away from.
So
We're gonna stick with it.
What's your motion then?
I'm gonna make a motion that we give the appropriate raise, but follow our CBIZ rules, and to give the JDC aid worker the raise that the CBIZ recommends.
Okay, second?
I'll second those.
Questions? Yes, Bob?
I heard that their current employee would be eligible after a short time, 2 months, 3, 4, what's that?
6 months.
6 months? Is that covered in CBIZ or not? In other words,
With
would they
CBIZ,
in
what
fact get a
CBIZ would
raise?
do, Bob, I think every year they come back, is that right? And they reevaluate everything, I think, but it's a year, every year they reevaluate it, up to 5 years.
She was talking about the state employees.
Yeah, that
Recently.
Well, I
was
know,
state.
but she wanted to do it to county employee too.
Okay, let's differentiate between state and circuit. I think that's an important difference, isn't
Yes, there's definitely a difference.
it? The state employees and circuit employees are two different things.
Okay.
If I'm understanding that correctly. So we're talking now about circuit employees. It sounds like they have a set of rules about start here and so many days you've been, and CBiz has a different set of rules. So we have to go with one or the other, and we're sounding like we're wanting to go with CBiz.
Okay. I just wanted to make that clear. I didn't quite understand what was gonna take place in 6 months.
Well, and then Eric, I'm gonna recommend it, but I hope you realize what we're doing here.
I understand.
Okay,
We're
but
standardizing the whole.
that's gonna
system.
happen.
Yeah. Okay, any other questions? All in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Thank you, Eric. Permission to seek IT for a grant.
We did that last week.
I was gonna say, that was approved last week.
Yep.
See, I thought they were going after a different grant that was on.
It's on the agenda.
It's on there, so that's why I thought you guys were going after something else.
Okay. All right. Didn't know if it's, I thought it was another one
We
too.
talked about
Okay.
that a lot this week.
Real estate taxes to trustee. Pam's not here and Angie had to leave, so, anybody else want to talk about this? Okay, it's a standard procedure, as I understand it, just updating the tax books and stuff that the trustee's taken off the.
I think it's anything that didn't sell at the third year sale
Yeah.
gets removed from our books.
It becomes part of the trustee's holding, if you want to call it that. It comes off the tax books, which is why I would love to see some of those holdings put back in the public domain, and not the public domain, but back on the tax books. Back, somebody take care of those, so. Anyway, okay, motion to remove those items?
I'll make a motion that we remove the real estate tax to the trustee after the third year.
I believe so. I know there's a waiting period after the third year sale for them to redeem it or come back and then they sell, but I don't know the exact dates. But they should have provided you guys with a list of the properties and the dates.
Oh, there's thousands of them. It's a long
There's
list.
a list.
I was gonna say, it shouldn't be that big.
It should be right there.
It is. It should be.
I don't have it.
Yes, you did. You signed it.
Right here.
Yeah. Oh,
But,
no, I haven't seen that.
yeah.
Oh, it's okay.
So,
Someone hasn't passed that along yet. Okay.
yeah, I just kept it right here.
Okay, did I get a motion?
Motion,
I mean-
second.
And second?
Second.
Okay, any other questions?
I got one question. I don't know our trustee, I know it's a lady, but, and this is for the auditor, do we ever audit that process that she does?
So once it's taken off of our stuff, the county has no authority over it anymore. That's what they're approving right now. Then
Well,
she's the one
Who's
that.
the trustee?
We appoint,
We
we
appointed
have
Barb
appointed lately.
Shelley.
Her name is Barb Shelton, and we did appoint.
I know, I'm watching Washington County go through
Yeah.
trials and things.
Yeah.
I think we probably somebody ought to figure out if everything's
Well,
kosher there. I'm not saying it's not, I just, that
okay.
if someday it turns up that these things were sold to a brother or something like that, and we didn't know about it, I don't recall any paperwork ever.
Okay, you're stepping in the middle of the process here.
Yeah, and I can't see where there's any
Okay.
checks and balances on it.
What happened on that approval 3, 4, 5 months ago?
Yeah, we approve.
We realized that she hadn't been brought up for approval for years. So we approved that, and that established that we have the authority to approve. And that's what we did that's why we did that. So now we can go ahead and move with anything we need to do on that.
Well, I know that you have the authority to approve, I just
Well, we
think that
were-
we ought
we were
to
certain.
make sure that everything's good.
I want to clarify, this is just removing it as outstanding owed to us. When it's my understanding that when Barb sells something, we still get the taxes off that and it gets added back. Is that right, Eric? Do you know? Mindy?
That might be
But I
Dan
don't-
Wardwood.
I know it's not like we're not ever gonna collect money on that again, it's just, we're taking it out as, it's past due. And it's now up to Barb, the trustee, to collect that money, to sell it.
And when it's sold, it goes back into the.
Correct. That's my
Yes.
understanding.
Yep.
Well, there can be some issues on that, say, what we were running into.
But
Is
if you're not
there's
sure,
a
you can
piece of
always-
property in the city that the city happens to clean up, and they charge us, when they run out of a certain time to charge us, they have a bill on it. So that's what the issue was brought up. Who's gonna clean it up?
Yeah.
Then we have to send our crews out to clean it
Who
up.
wants to maintain mowing?
Right.
Okay, questions? Bob?
If the trustee has custodial of the property, how do they determine the value that they might sell it to somebody?
Well, we know what is held against it on taxes.
We require that it be sold for that amount?
I think that's part of the rule, yeah. And then, let's say that Bob Turner wants to go in and buy a piece of property and pays this amount. Then, and boy, this is crude understanding, it's just very basic understanding on my part. But let's say you want to go in and build something on that property. And then the past owner comes back within 3 years maybe and decides that he wants the property back. Well, he has to upgrade you on everything you've paid, including improvements. So if you build a new house, he's got to pay you for that house. But he can get it back in that time period.
Within 3 years, right?
There's a time frame.
But if it's like 5 years,
I think that time frame is shorter than that.
Well, Bob, and then that'd be like, say, the city of Farmington has a bill against that too. So that's added on to
Yeah,
what.
that'd be a lead. They'd be a
Yeah,
lead on it.
they have something against it. We have a couple issues with that now.
so even if you bought the property at some reasonable amount, you'll still owe the lien.
Yeah,
You're buying it with that lien.
You're buying it.
and in the tax sale, you might come in and find a great property there for a good
That's all
price,
been confusing
but there may be
to me.
liens against it, Louis.
To clarify what the question coming from Mr. Clerk is, his responsibility, as I understand it by state statute, that the county commission is to oversee the county trustees' actions. So it's your responsibility.
We're
Right.
we're in the process of looking into that, long slope steps, so, yeah. Okay, any other thing? Okay, now I need a vote, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay, the assessor's gonna be talking to us.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, Corey's gonna be talking to us.
So we currently have the personal property director graded as a 6 with CBIZ. We would like to take that to a 5. It only affects the assessor's office. The current employee is planning to retire next year, so I think it will benefit us moving it down a grade.
Are you affecting the current person in the office?
No.
So that person will stay at 6, so how do you,
It's just gonna be, so we're gonna move the grade. Now, the current employee, her pay will not change.
okay,
So she's gonna stay.
she's
with-
gonna stay at 6,
Yeah.
but the new position, the new
She's gonna,
person,
yes,
Will
next
be
year,
5.
whenever that happens. I don't know the exact date that she's gonna leave, but yeah.
that starting pay will be 5. Okay. Okay. Motion?
I make a motion, we amend the pay grade for the assessor on the personal property director, 6 to 5.
Second?
I'll second that.
Okay, now, let's say this person decides not to retire. Does that change anything?
No.
Questions? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you, Corey, on that one. Add field appraiser 2. Go ahead.
So when we had this study done, we did not have a field appraiser 2 at that time. So we want to place that on the grid. And after speaking with Mindy and Eric, we feel like it should be a 5.
Okay. Motion? And this is a new position, nobody involved?
There is currently one employee there,
Okay, so what's that person earning now?
$14.50 an hour.
What grade?
Oh, they're at a 5.
Okay, so okay, but, okay, so what's her title?
Field appraiser 2.
So we're adding another
Oh,
position.
It was a former employee that worked here at a previous date. He came back
Okay,
at the same pay rate that he left at.
okay.
And that's where he's at in the payroll system. It's not on the CBIZ list, we just want to put it on here.
So are we adding an opening or adding a line item?
We're not adding an opening, we had that position available, it just wasn't in the study.
Okay.
So we're just putting it. effective
As a position.
Yeah.
That's on that.
In the grade above field appraiser 1.
Right. And I got a motion.
So I'm going to make a motion, we add the field appraiser to grade 5, the
To the
assessor.
CBIZ.
To the CBIZ program.
Second.
I'll second that, but I want to ask you something. That is not on the CBIZ record right now. Will you have to call and ask, have them put that on there?
No, after speaking with Mindy and Eric, we kind of feel like that's where it should go. Because field appraiser 1 was already graded, so we're just going to put it the next grade up.
All right. Questions? Oh, is that second? Okay, questions? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
I think you're up again.
Same thing with field supervisor. It was a title that we already had in the past. When we had the study done, that employee had retired. So we didn't submit a job description for that one. And we feel like this position may be filled coming up, and it's not currently on this schedule.
It will take effect if whoever takes it in the second.
Yeah, whoever fills this position, that's where it will be.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the field supervisor in the assessor's office to a level 6, grade 6.
I'll second.
Okay.
Now, what I understand is the one has retired, you haven't replaced them, so you'll be replacing this at basically the amount that was,
The CBIZ.
the CBIZ amount.
It's actually, the grade 6 is less than what this employee was making when she retired.
Okay, but that's what it'll show on CBIZ. Okay.
But that was Jane, right? She's
Yeah.
been here forever.
Yeah.
Okay, questions? Bob?
Is this grade 6 determined by the professionals that did CBIZ, or is this determined by us?
Since it wasn't graded by CBIZ, I got with Mindy and Eric, and they feel like this is the appropriate place for it based on their office and the duties.
You're confident that when we look at CBIZ in the future, it'll fall in line, okay?
I feel it will.
Questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
Harold, a while back you mentioned that we would be getting sometime in the near future the release of the CBIZ. Any idea when the rest of the employees might get some information
After
on
the
that?
new year, probably in
After the new
January.
year, in January? Okay.
Because that takes effect the second quarter.
Yes. Thank
Okay,
you.
questions? All in favor, aye?
Aye. Thank you, Board.
Other business, correspondence?
Thank you for the cookies. Good job. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Laura, by the way.
Don't tell my
And
wife.
welcome to Dan Moore.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Dan.
I'll put, and thank the auditor's office for the hard work on that budget. Thank you, guys.
Public comments. Departmental reports. Are you moved?
We are moving.
Okay,
I have some pictures for you,
okay.
maybe next week.
Yeah, didn't get them this time. Okay, yeah, Dan.
Report on top, big success. Friday, had lots of kids. I don't even know the exact amount, over 420, 30 kids. Lots of police departments involved, officers. Everybody had a great time and big success. We'll do the makeup day Thursday, depending on what the weather does, but noon, the local Walmart. We got about another 125 kids to get through, so they'll have a Christmas this year.
Yeah, and the photography was,
I'll be there, and then you'll be there at 1 when it really starts.
the photography was well done, because the only time his picture showed up was on his backside.
Yeah, we tried to keep him and the Grinch both up.
Yeah, okay, so that was good size.
We tried to keep him on there and Perry, so don't forget. I didn't see those pictures.
Any other departmental reports?
They did a great job.
We didn't pay the photographer to
I
get
paid
some
him, I
photos,
paid him to
so-
follow me around my backside.
Nick?
It's gonna get cold, so check on your neighbors. We got warming shelters if we need them, so we're
No, that's not from IT, that's from emergency management. All right, thank you.
Harold, the
Bob?
agenda by Thursday.
I've got it. Okay, we're gonna be closed Friday and Monday for Christmas. And so enjoy your Christmas, everyone. See you back on Tuesday. But because we'll be closed on Friday and Monday, this is another topic that Kevin's already talked about, swearing in ceremony will be Tuesday, the day we're off. And so you're welcome to that at noon on that day.
Monday, it'll be.
Monday, it's Monday. Yeah, I said that.
Don't miss your own swearing.
Yeah, it'd be the following
On
Monday.
Monday.
Parks, did you miss your own swearing? No, I was.
Okay, and now, here's what everybody's wanting me to say, is that our agenda items must be in the day after tomorrow, Thursday, because of the holiday closings. And of course, you know that we have to have that at least 24 hours before the meeting, business hours. So that means Thursday at 10 a.m. So, next regular meeting will be 1 week from today. And, okay, I didn't take that off. Okay, now,
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
all in favor, aye?
Aye.